Welcome to Soldier's Legacy. Today's story begins in a place where courage is tested. Legends are reborn. The morning fog hung low over Fort Resolute, sprawling military base hidden deep within the mountains. The metallic rhythm of drills echoed across the training yard as recruits practiced their formations. Among them stood Lieutenant Ava Rains, calm, composed. And unlike anyone else on that field, she had a quiet intensity that made people curious, but also uneasy. No one really knew where she came from or how she managed to earn a lieutenant's rank so quickly. But they were about to find out something they'd never forget. Permission to draw a rifle. "Sir," she said, standing tall before the quartermaster. The men nearby froze, then laughed. "A rifle?" One corporal scoffed. "Your medical staff, Lieutenant? You patch us up, not shoot the enemy." Ava didn't flinch. Her voice was steady. "Permission to draw a rifle, sir." The quartermaster looked amused. "You ever fired one before?" "Yes, sir." Her calm tone drew another round of laughter. One recruit whispered, "She probably wants to hang it on her wall." But the quartermaster, tired of the chatter, finally gave her the weapon. "All right, Lieutenant. Let's see what the medic can do." Ava stepped forward. The rifle felt natural in her hands, familiar, like an old memory resurfacing. Without hesitation, she loaded the magazine, checked the chamber, and took position at the range. A hush fell. She fired once. The target rang. She fired again, perfect center. Then a burst of 5 shots in flawless succession, all dead on. The laughter died instantly. One sergeant muttered, "No way." Ava lowered the rifle, cleared the chamber, and stood at ease. "Permission to return to medical duty, sir." But before anyone could reply, a deep, commanding voice broke the silence. "Who authorized live fire?" Every soldier straightened. General Marcus Thorne, the base commander, was approaching. His uniform immaculate, his expression carved from stone. The quartermaster saluted. "Just a little test, sir." Lieutenant Rains requested to. Thorne's eyes locked on Ava. "Lieutenant Rains?" "Yes, sir," she said, meeting his gaze without fear. Then his eyes drifted to her left wrist, where the cuff of her sleeve had risen just enough to reveal a faint black symbol. A talon-shaped mark burned into her skin. The general froze. For the first time in years, his voice dropped to a whisper. "Black talon." The men exchanged confused glances. Thorne stepped closer. "Where did you get that mark, Lieutenant?" Ava's answer came quietly. "Operation Nightfall, sir." Black Talon Unit. Every sound in the training yard stopped. Everyone had heard rumors of Black Talon, a covert unit so secret that even the highest-ranking officers denied its existence. A team of ghosts trained to disappear, strike, survive where no one else could. And if the stories were true, the Black Talons were all dead. General Thorne's voice softened. "That unit was wiped out." Ava's eyes didn't waver. "That's what the files say, sir." The general studied her face. Then, curtly, all units dismissed. When the soldiers dispersed, their whispers filled the air. The general turned to Ava. "Walk with me." They entered the command center, the lights flickering slightly from the storm outside. Thorne gestured toward a seat. "Start talking," Ava said, her hands folded calmly on the table. "We were betrayed, sir. Our location was leaked during extraction. My team didn't make it. I was ordered to disappear to let the world think I died with them." "Yes!" Thorne's face hardened. "And now, they're back," she said. "The enemy we took down Crimson Vale, they've resurfaced. New funding. New leadership. Same objectives." Thorne leaned forward. "You're sure?" Ava nodded. "They've already infiltrated border outposts. Their next target is Fort Resolute." The general exhaled slowly. "Then we prepare." That night, lightning cracked over the peaks as the base went into lockdown. Soldiers hurried to their stations. Unaware that the woman who had once been mocked was now reactivating the most elite combat protocol ever designed, Ava entered the restricted comms, room keyed in a sequence no one had used in years. The monitor flickered, then displayed the emblem. A black talon clutching a silver star. Her voice was steady as she said, Black Talon operative reigns. Requesting reactivation under Emergency Code 19. The terminal accepted her clearance. She turned to the general. If we fail, they'll erase this base from the map. Thorn nodded. Then we don't fail. At dawn, the attack came. A swarm of drones screamed through the sky, missiles raining down on the outer perimeter. Sirens wailed. Soldiers scrambled for cover. The base erupted into chaos. Amid the fire and smoke, Ava moved like she'd been born for this. Calm, focused. Every shot she fired was precise. She coordinated air support, directed the med teams. And when the command center was breached, she was the first through the door. Her rifle barked once, twice, and 3 infiltrators fell before they ever pulled the trigger. Outside, General Thorn fought to hold the line, but the enemy pressed harder, faster. Their jamming hour comes. One officer shouted. Ava grabbed the headset. Switch to channel Eco 7. They won't expect it. Reinforcements repositioned, artillery locked, and within minutes, the tide turned. By nightfall, the smoke cleared. The base still stood. General Thorn approached her, covered in dirt and sweat. Lieutenant, I underestimated you. Ava gave a small smile. Everyone did. He looked at her wrist again, the mark that had once condemned her to secrecy. Your Black Talon, he said quietly. I was, she corrected. Now I'm just a soldier. Oh, but they both knew it wasn't true. The mark wasn't just ink, it was a legacy. A reminder of those who gave everything and never came home. Thorn straightened. The world needs people like you again. Ava shook her head. The world needs to remember why we existed and why we vanished. As dawn broke over the mountains, the base fell silent. The surviving soldiers gathered to honor the fallen. No one spoke of the classified codes or the secret marks, but every man and woman there knew who had saved them. Later, when new recruits joined Fort Resolute, they'd sometimes ask, who's the quiet medic in the corner? The one who never misses a target? And the veterans would answer, half in awe, half in warning, she's the one they call Talon. You don't laugh when she asks for a rifle, because behind every uniform is a story no one sees of sacrifice. Courage, and the kind of silence that speaks louder than any medal. Ava Raines didn't fight for glory. She fought for those who couldn't. And as long as she drew breath, the legend of the Black Talons would never die. That's the legacy of a soldier who was laughed at, till the general saw the mark and whispered, Black Talon. And that's what soldiers' legacy is all about. Stories of duty, honor, and the quiet strength that shapes heroes history almost forgot.